Welcome everyone to Tim's Vinyl Confessions. I'm Tim Derling, and thank you once again for tuning into this episode. Going to be a little bit different this time. Matt and I are going to each talk about a recently released album. I'm going to start off with Matt. He's going to talk about a recently released instrumental rock album. And then I'm going to come on and talk about another one. So Matt, take it away.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my office. Thanks for tuning in to Tim's Vinyl Confessions. Now I wanted to do something a little different today, something we haven't done in quite a while actually, and something you don't often see here on TVC. As you can see, I'm in my office, but I'm not doing a Zoom call. I'm actually going to do a quick introduction to a new artist that an artist who's been around for a few years, but someone you might not be familiar with, someone who actually sent me something in the mail. And so I'm going to do an unboxing, and I'm going to introduce you to Viktor Lundberg. This is Viktor. Viktor is from Sweden. And I've known Viktor for a few years, virtually known Viktor. And we met online, but actually not in a way that you would assume, not through a music site, but actually through a gaming website that I've been a member of for about 20 years. So Viktor had started posting links and samples to some of the music that he was putting out, and I got interested when he put out an album called Momentum in 2016. So Viktor actually has 3 records out. Here's his first one called Windwards. It's a CD. And another CD, a terrific album called Momentum that came out again in 2016. And it was actually made my top albums of 2016. So what's this music like? If you're a fan of hard rock and progressive metal, and in general, I would say Joe Satriani's music, although it's not exactly like that, I think you'll really dig this stuff. So what do I have to show you? Well, check this out. Here's a package. There's my address. Don't send me anything. Look at those stamps, though. This package came from Sweden. So I'm going to switch over to a different camera view. And just for fun, I wanted to do a first reaction kind of unboxing because Viktor sent me his newest album on vinyl. Yeah, the first 2 he did on CD. And this album actually came out in November of last year. And I was a little disappointed because I was like, oh, there's only going to be a digital version. He's got it on Spotify. He's got it on YouTube. And then he announced he was going to be pressing some vinyl, and I was pretty excited. So he sent me a copy in the mail, actually. I think he sent me 2 copies. With any luck, I'll be sending one to Tim as well. So let's cut over to a different camera and let's unbox Viktor Lundberg's new album. Wow. So Viktor Lundberg. Here's an unboxing of his 3rd album on vinyl. It's called A World in an Instant, and you'll see the artwork here soon. Check that package out. It says 1 LP record, but actually, Little Bird told me there might be 2 in there. Let's flip it over. Viktor from Sweden. Wow, took a couple of months to get here, but I've got it. And I've got my trusty blade, and I'm ready to cut into this package. Let's see, I want to be really careful. This blade is really sharp. Obviously don't want to cut into the vinyl, so I'm just surface cuts very quickly. Okay, let's pop this open and have a look inside. This is my first time actually seeing this on vinyl. Oh wow. Yeah, I think there are 2 records in here. Let's get a little closer look. Got to rotate it around for you. Wow. Okay, that's impressive. Oh, and there's 2. Tim, here's your copy. So I don't think I need to tell you that, as someone who's been collecting CDs and vinyl for quite a long time, it's pretty impressive. here is, oh, it's on 2 records, side A, side B, side C, and side D. Here's the spine, so A World in an Instant. Let's have a look inside. I believe this is a gatefold. Pop it open here. Oh, wow. There's Viktor. Viktor has a really good taste in not only music, but gear. A little bit of a preamble. Can't wait to read this stuff later. There's some of Viktor's gear. Okay. I'm going to take a look at the vinyl records themselves. So again, there's 2 here. There's an A and a B, a C and a D. So they've kind of copied the style of the cover onto the vinyl itself. There's no actual printing here. Just the very subtle A, B, and I assume C and D on the other record itself. Really gorgeous black inner sleeves. Really understated, which I will say the music is not. The music rocks. I've listened to this on Spotify a bunch of times, but I mean, this is a 2020 album, but for me it's going to be a 2021 release because I finally have a copy of it on vinyl to check out. So that's Viktor Lundberg, A World in an Instant. Check it out. Only 100 of these were made? Wow.
Thanks, Matt. Now the one that I sort of hinted at the beginning, the 4th album from the British band Inglorious. I've been following these guys for a few years now, and they're back with a brand new album called We Will Ride. And once again, Nathan James and the boys have knocked it out of the park. Once again, an album on Frontiers Records. Album art-wise, this was done by a guy named Paul Tippett. I initially thought it might have been Hugh Syme, but it's not. And it looks a little bit more like the first and second album. Ride to Nowhere had quite a bright color scheme to it, if you recall. Expertly produced album by a guy named Ramesh Dodangoda. I'm butchering his name. Ramesh is his first name. Great sounding album. Some cool artwork in here. And just more of the same classic British melodic hard rock. They are not trying to reinvent the wheel. They're just doing more of what they've done best. I did an episode on Inglorious last year where I kind of talked about all 3 of their albums at once. And if you love Whitesnake, and I say Whitesnake from most of the eras, so it's blues based, but it is commercial sounding. If you like a little bit of the Deep Purple with the Hammond organ sound, if you like Harum Scarum, another act that's on Frontiers Records, I think you'll find a lot to like about Inglorious if you've never checked them out. Unfortunately, they're on Frontiers Records, so you know, even if bands were doing regular touring, they wouldn't make it to these shores. But these guys would be perfect to open up for a band like Def Leppard or Whitesnake, or because they fit right in with that classic sound, but they're a younger band. First album came out in 2016. Here we are in 2021 and their 5th album, so they don't spend a lot of time in between albums and they don't suffer for it either. There's a couple things on here that I wanted to point out. That, you know, you listen to songs, sometimes they remind you of a little bit of other songs. Cruel Intentions, and I'm sure this was done on purpose, but the song Cruel Intentions has a riff that reminds me very much of Billy's Got a Gun by Def Leppard, so that should give you an idea maybe about what they sound like if you've never heard them before. And the opening track, She Won't Let You Go, the chorus to that kind of reminds me of The Devil You Know from the second Winery Dogs album, which if you've heard me talk about the Winery Dogs, that's a compliment. Coolest riff, though, overall, He Will Provide. That's got a wicked riff and wicked hi-hat work in it. And just, you know, to single it song by song would really do an injustice to the fact that it's a great album from start to finish. So once again, Inglorious, We Will Ride, Frontiers Records. Get it if you can find it. Again, attention to artwork would look really, really cool on vinyl. I've just got it on CD. And check it out. And thank you for watching this episode of Tim's Vinyl Confessions.